So once again, welcome back class 90s. So dear 90s, so far we have done plenty chapters. I would say we are running quite speedily because in 1 month time we have completed around 6 to 7 chapters. So that is, I would say, a great way to go on with our syllabus. But yes, there are some things which are left in grammar section also. In previous video, I had taught you to do editing, omitting. Today we would learn one more question of grammar section, and that is gap filling. See, again I would like to repeat one thing which I had told in previous video. In class 9 there is one problem with grammar questions, and that is no question is given straightforwardly. It means all the questions which are given in class 9th and 10th English, they are mainly application based question. I am compelled to repeat the same. I believe that CBSE thinks that by class 8th student has learnt grammar thoroughly, so that is why now this is the time to check his or her competency in this field. So that is why no direct question is given. Student knowledge of grammar is checked through indirect question. So as such question is gap filling. Alright, I would say you perhaps must have done this kind of question in your previous classes. This is the time to learn it again. So what happens in gap filling? In gap filling, students are given a paragraph. Alright, and in that paragraph some blanks are there, and of course those blanks are given with options. Alright, so those options are grammatical based options. Some grammatical errors are there. In fact, grammatical fillings are there. So students are given options, and then they are asked to fill the correct answer on the basis of grammar. Alright, so this is another question which in fact checks the thorough knowledge of student, because the point is there, the gaps which are to be filled, they are not based on any particular part of speech. They might be related to noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb, gerund, participle, alright, preposition. So quite obvious that a thorough knowledge of English is needed to fill these gaps. So why to take so much time? Let's learn how to do gap filling. So you can see that in front of you a book is there, and in this book there is a paragraph given, and in that paragraph some gaps are there. Alright, so we would fill them systematically. Now let's start it. First of all, let's read the question. What is the question? Question is saying complete the paragraph given below by filling in the blank with the help of options that follow. Fine. So it's quite easy. Let's practice it. The very first question is the picture that. First of all, how to do this? First of all, we must read the paragraph to develop some sort of understanding of the question, because sometimes it happens if we get sense of a paragraph, it in fact becomes quite helpful in doing that question. So let's read the paragraph first of all. What is the paragraph? It is a picture that out of the camera was disappointing. In it neither I was there, was she. Alright, so this is the little paragraph. Now let us start doing it. So the very first line is the picture that out of the camera. So see, if you pay attention, first of all, see 4 options are there. Come, comes, came, coming. Now which option is to fill? If you read the second part of this paragraph, see this one, out of the camera was. So this was helping verb is very helpful for us as well. Why? Because this was is letting us know that this paragraph is written in past tense. So since it's written past tense, so that is why we have to go along with the same option. In first option, the picture that come, no, it is not right, comes, no, came, because the past form of come is came, the second form of come is came. So that is why the correct option would be came. You must be knowing that in past we use second form. Mainly out of the came was. Now see, was disappointing. So the option options are very, more, less and little. So see, was very disappointing. It is sounding the most appropriate one. Why? If you see other options, more, was more disappointing. More cannot be there, more or less both of them cannot be there, because they are used in respect of comparison, and since there is no comparison mentioned here, so that is why they do not sound correct. And the same is there with little disappointing. Here in fact there is no sense of letting, so even that is not that in fact does not seem to be correct here. So let's see, in it neither I was there and was she. So you know, it's quite obvious that neither is followed by nor, because neither and nor, they are correlative conjunctions, they are used in pair. So that is why with neither we always use nor. So in this one nor would be there, in second one I forgot to mention very would be there. So this is the way we do this question of gap filling. Let's practice one more, just for practice sake. So let's see the second question. What is this? Whenever I in front of the mirror for then a couple of minutes, my aunt would shout me to get away from there. Fine. So let's see, the speaker is saying whenever I in front of the mirror for then a couple. First of all, let's find out which tense has been used here. Alright, so where to find which tense has been used? This would, which is actually past form of will here. You must be knowing in indirect, in place of will we use would. So this would is letting us know that the tense which has been used here, that is past tense. So now on the basis of the same, we can fill all the gaps given here. So first of all, whenever I, since it is past, stand, no. Stands, that is grammatically incorrect. With I we do not use as form of verb. In front of the mirror, then stood, that is correct. Stood is second form of stand. So here the option stood would be correct. Stood in front of the mirror for then a couple of minutes. Now see, then is there. So this then is very much helpful for us always in respect of finding gap, because then is always used after comparative form of adjective. So since comparative form of adjective is to be used here, what is that? It's more. Alright, we know that more is comparative form of adjective. So that is why what is to be filled here, that is more. Mirror for more than a couple of minutes. Much is not correct, less is not correct, little is not, because they all are not used for comparative form. More is used, so that is why more is to be correct. Then a couple of minutes, my aunt would shout at me. You need to remember, some of you must be thinking on, no, that is incorrect. There are some distinguished verbs in English which are always followed by distinguished prepositions. Alright, so shout is a word which is followed by at in place of one. Generally, people say, why did you shout on me? That is not correct. Why did you shout at me? So what is correct here? Shout at would be correct. Now let's see the third part of this. The only place where I can find peace of mind is my own small room. Let me hold it in this way, perhaps it would give a better view. Yes, the only place where I can find peace of mind is my small room. There is one window in it, through I can the mountains. Fine. So let's find out what are the correct options. The only place where I can find. So first of all, can is there. Can is used in present tense. So we in fact can understand that present tense has been used there. Where we can find peace of mind. A peace of mind? No. N peace of mind? No. Why? Because both of them are, they are, what kind of article? They are indefinite article, and they are always used before singular subjects, and peace of mind is uncountable, so there is no way for them to be used here, so that is why they cannot be fitted here. Fine. Then the peace of mind, that is definite article which is not getting fitted here, some peace of mind. That is sounding the best one here. I can find some peace of mind. So which is correct in first option, that is some. Some peace of mind is my own small room. Fine, there is a one window in it through I can, through which, that, whom. Now see, here four options are there: which, that, whom. So which is the correct one? Which is the correct one? Why which is the correct one? Because here this is relative pronoun, and which is to be used for window. So window is non-living, alright, and we know that for non-living we do not use who, whom. That can be used, but here which is in fact bringing the best sense, so that is why which would be correct. So this is the reason which is correct, because which is substitution of window. I can the mountains. Now see, I can the mountains. So I can see, sees, saw, seen. We got it in first line that present tense is there. Alright, and you must be knowing, student, that after all the modal auxiliaries, these helping verbs like should, might, can, could, may, would, and some others are there, we always use first form of verb. So that is why can is itself a modal auxiliary, and that is why we have to use first form after it. So let's find out which is the first form of verb among them. See, of course, see is the first form, because see is saw, seen, their other form. So what is the correct answer here? That is C. Alright. So this is the way we do questions of gap filling. Fine. Again, you must have seen the option, different options are there. They have checked your knowledge of grammar, about different fields. Like it's not so that if you are expert in noun, you can do your expert in adjective, you can do articles very well, you can do. No, that is not there. You are supposed to have thorough knowledge of all the topics of grammar. On the basis of the same, you can do this also. What I am tending to do, I am finding one question of editing is there, although we studied in previous video, but let's recall it, let's revise it, how it is done. Would you like to do this? Say yes or no. No, won't be accepted. Yes. So let's see the next question. What is that? This is editing. So let's recall it. The following paragraph has not been edited. There is an error in each line. Write the error and its correction as in shown example. We of course learned it before. So let's revise it. She said that whenever I go to party, see, correction, I go has been corrected with went. It means past tense is being used here. To party. If here was, first of all read the paragraph. If here was leftover food, I should picked it up, bring it on the poor people. It was one of most difficult things to do. Alright, so now let's solve it. So she said that whenever I go has been corrected with went. To parties, if here has been used for party, it's a far place there, so that is why if there would be in place of here. So what is the correction? Correction would be, error would be here, and correction would be there. Very uncomfortable way there to write. Anyway, leftover means remaining food. I should picked. See, I should picked. Just now I told that after modal auxiliaries we use first form of verb. So that is why I should picked is wrong, because after should, which form is needed? First form is needed. So what is the correction? Pick should be there in place of picked up. So error is picked and correction is pick. Now let's go ahead. It again and bring it on the poor people, and should and bring it on the poor people. So does she throw it on the head of poor people? Of course not. She brings for them. Alright, bring it for the poor people. So in place of on, it should be for. And then next, people, it was one of a most difficult thing. See, most is superlative degree of adjective, and we have studied that superlative degree of adjective is preceded by the, not a. So that is why what is correct here? A is mistake, and what would be the correction of a? It would be the. So a is to be corrected with the. Fine. So this is the way we do gap filling. I hope that you must have understood. What I would do now, I would send you some practice question which you would do in your grammar copy. Thank you so much for watching this.